And hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another flashback to a podcast that was done back in April 23rd of 2018. I really hope that you take the time to really get involved in the conversation about what the topic is, and I hope that this topic really helps you within your life and your struggles and the things that you go through on a daily basis. So here it is, the Holste podcast from back in April 23rd of 2018.
Today I want to talk about something that I was thinking about yesterday and through this morning, and that's our way of thinking. We constantly like to judge certain situations. We don't really take the time to evaluate the surroundings before we do things. We lash out. And before we know the truth of what's really going on, we often just make ourselves look so stupid and crazy. And it's not just in our relationships that we do this, it's within our jobs. Sometimes we say things and then we stop and go, did I really just say that? And it's even within our battles, within our inner demons that we sometimes have. We think things and we say things out loud about our life, about ourselves, that we really don't take the time and go, well, that isn't right. But I think if we actually took the time to look at ourselves, look at our lives in a different way, a different outlook, things would be different. You know, and the biggest example that I can give through all this is our self-image. So many of us judge how we are as a person by our looks. Like, I don't know why it's so important for people to think they have to be skinny, they have to be a certain weight, they have to be this certain style, they have to have this certain clothing, they have to have a certain hat, they have to have the certain glasses just to be perfect looking. They have to have a certain haircut to be a certain image that they want to put themselves out as, or whatever the case may be. But in reality, what people forget is you're perfect the way that you are, and to lie and manipulate and dress yourself the way that you know that is not you, or put makeup on when you know that you don't need makeup because you're already beautiful as you are. You don't need certain things done to your body to make yourself look better, because God created you the way that you should be. And to manipulate and to lie and to make yourself think things that aren't true about yourself is what's damaging our lives. You know, I thought at one point in my life it was cool to have an earring because that's what everybody else was doing in the early 90s, and now I just think it was a stupid idea. You don't have to alter yourself to make yourself feel good. All you have to do to make yourself feel good is to believe in yourself that you are perfect. And there's going to be plenty of times in your life when you wake up and you realize that you're not, because of the mistakes that you make. But you know what? That doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, you're still the same person that you are the day before. You're still the same person you were when you were born. So it doesn't matter. what your viewpoints are about the negative sides of your life or other people's life. But it's important what you know in your heart as who you are as the good side. And that's what's important. That's what you need to live your life as. The way we look and treat other people is disgusting to me, because we're too busy placing judgment on other people's beliefs, likes, styles, everything, that we break them down so bad that we don't know what's going on in their personal life. We don't care to think about what's going on in other people's life before we say and do things to other people. So yeah, it may be fun for you to say things that hurt people, but at the end of the day, we don't know what it's like for those other people and what they're going through in their lives. So I guess my point for today is, before we lash out and we make fun of others' imperfections, think about the imperfections that you take hard upon yourself. Think about the things that you feel about yourself that make you upset and feel down or feel like you're not perfect. And think about what you're saying to other people before you do it, because they may be thinking those same things. They may be feeling down and upset and frustrated about their own life and how they look and how they feel and how they get treated every single day. Because I know in my life I've had plenty of times where I wake up feeling great and feeling fine, but then I think about the stuff that is going on in my life, about money, bills, the way that my relationships have been, the way that I don't have my kids or my family, and then I have people say things that are hurtful. And they may not mean it as being hurtful. They may think of it as playing around and poking fun and being harmless, but they don't realize that sometimes maybe the things that they say are affecting me in ways that are making things worse. And in the long run, what that does for someone is it makes them clam up. It makes them feel like maybe their life isn't worth living. And maybe this is why those situations of people hurting other people with guns and violence and blowing up things and being absolutely stupid, because they don't have the right people around making them feel better, being positive, lifting them up. So today, make it a point to build people up. Let's stop bringing people down. Let's stop hurting people in ways that we know are destroying who they are as a person. Because I know I do it sometimes, and maybe too often. And I think there's a lot of people who don't take the time to realize just how that affects other people. And for the people that I've said and done things, I'm taking the first step right now and saying I'm sorry. It's not my intentions to hurt. Sometimes our joking and our way that we treat others goes too far. And for me, I'm stepping up and I'm saying I'm sorry. So join me today, and whoever you've done wrong to, say you're sorry. Open up a new path, open up a new beginning, open up a new page, and be a better person. Because this world isn't going to be a better place until we start acting like we want it to be a better place. This world won't be a better place until we get our heads out of our and start treating people with respect. That's what life is about, is respect. My parents always told me, you don't just get respect because you demand it, you earn it. And that's something I still learn every single day, is I expect things without working for them and not earning them. So start doing that today, if you haven't. If you believe in this message of making this world, our community, a better place, share this message if you believe in what I say. Like, share, comment, share your feelings. Make an effort to be a better person, not just to yourself, but towards others. Think and be positive, and don't do what you can't, do what you can. Have a great day.
So that's when it all began, with the whole second slogan of doing what you can, not what you can't. And, you know, as the years have gone on from this podcast, other slogans and things have joined the podcast. But this one was a very intense podcast because, you know, there's a lot of people who would rather listen and judge themselves by what society wants to see and expects to see out of people. You know, I thought that comment that I made was dead on when, you know, you don't need makeup if you're a female. You know, God made you in a special way, in His image. So why would you want to cover the beauty that you have? That's something that I always have thought, and I know that there's reasons why girls like to have makeup, and I'm not saying that they shouldn't. That's all up to you. But in my mind, you know, women don't need that. You know, you're pretty as it is, so why cover that up? And I just feel like, you know, even back then in 2018 and even years prior to that, it's all been about image. People judge by the way that you look, the way that you talk. You know, I've talked about before about when I worked for a nonprofit organization with people that had developmental disabilities. And I talked about how, you know, going out and doing things with them, people would look at them funny or point and laugh. And, you know, they're judging them by the way that they look without knowing their personalities. And I've said it many, many times that these personalities were one of a kind. They knew certain things that I didn't. They had, you know, a joking side that is something that you don't usually see in people. But most importantly, you know, we all have disabilities. We're all not perfect, you know, and that's something that I wish people would think about. But, you know, the other day I was at a place of business and I had a conversation with someone, and they used the word, you know, for these people as retards or the mentally retarded. And I don't like that word, retard. That's not who they are. They're not retarded. That's another judging word that I feel like society has used for way too long. And we hear kids say it about other kids. Oh, that kid's a retard. I don't like that word. You know, no one's a retard. I think it's highly inappropriate. I don't appreciate it. I don't like it. And I think that sometimes people do things that are not appropriate, that aren't right, and maybe they aren't acting in a smart way, but no one is a retard. I wish that word would get erased from the English vocabulary. I wish that it was erased from any vocabulary that's out. I just don't think it's appropriate. But we judge people. We judge people by their past. We judge people by the way that they walk, the way that they talk. There's so many ways that we look at people and we automatically make assumptions. And it's not right. And I think this topic is to the point today where it still needs to be talked about. So share your thoughts and comments on how we can move forward from this and change this. What can we do as a society to help each other get away from doing those types of actions and saying those things and viewing ourselves in a negative way? Because honestly, we may make mistakes. We may say things and do things wrong. But that's because we're not perfect. But that doesn't mean we justify that by saying that we're not pretty, we're not smart, we're not this, and we're not that. We don't bash ourselves because that's not doing anything good. And we sure as heck don't bash other people because we all have our own beliefs. We all have our own viewpoints on things. But I think one thing that we can all agree on is that the more we treat each other with respect and we all view each other in a way that is kind and compassionate, this world is going to be a better place. So thank you for listening to this podcast. I hope you enjoyed going back in time to April 23rd of 2018 with me. And I hope you've enjoyed these other past podcasts as well. If you do, please like, share, comment, and subscribe, but also ring that bell so you can be notified of all the other great content that gets posted right here on the YouTube channel and as well as the KentHolstePodcast.com website. So just as a reminder, a friendly PSA, remember to be positive, think and be positive. I can't even think straight now. Think and be positive. Do what you can today, not what you can't. And I believe in you. Don't you think you should too? And if you see someone who served our country, whether it be military, police, fire, or even medical, give them a fist bump or an elbow. Tell them how much you appreciate them. You never know how much they might appreciate that one random act of kindness. So do that today. And until the next time we talk, be safe and God bless.